Welcome back to the final part of the Megaman 1 Let's Play, which is just part 2, as the game's really short. But yeah, now we're going to take on the big, bad, evil Doctor Wily, with a clear bonus of 200,000 points. And he's going to summon his UFO, climb in it, and then give us the evil eyebrows of doom, as he normally does in every Mega Man game after this point. So, Mega Man Castle 1 or Mega Man or Dr. Wily Fortress number 1 doesn't have a diagram like the other fortresses in later Mega Man games do, so it's a bit of a missed opportunity. But then again, this is the first Mega Man game, so I can't really fault them for that. Yeah, he's going to throw 3 Guardian Robots in front of us to block the entrance, and you want to freeze them with the Ice Slasher, and then go underneath them. And that one I barely cleared by the skin of my teeth, so you want to be super careful there. The Ice Slasher will make that area very, very easy to get through. And then you need to use the Guts Man weapon, the Hyper Arm, I believe it's called, or the Super Arm ability. And Ice Slasher, of course, makes the flame right here very easy to navigate, provided you get the timing down. But yeah, the most dangerous thing about Wily's Fortress is there's a lot of death traps, there's a lot of spikes, there's a lot of bottomless pits, there's a lot of enemies thrown at you, and so it's going to test your might to get through here, figure out what weapons to use in the appropriate situations. So if possible, I like to stick with the Elect Beam, that way I can just take out everything that I need to and not worry about it. Here it's very easy to fall into these spikes, believe it or not, because those bombs move into a Medusa head formation like in Castlevania, where they just zip across the screen right to left and hope to knock you down. If you use the Magna Beam, you can eliminate a lot of the headache from here. And this section, again, I like to use the Magna Beam to avoid it, but you also want to conserve some Magna Beam because you need it in order to progress this part right here. This is the part I was getting at, where you need the Magna Beam, because you have no way of wall jumping like Mega Man X and later Mega Man games. So Mega Man cannot do that. So I kind of goof right here. I made my last platform too high, and I've used up too much Magna Beam because I got to get over that well, not little, that very tall wall, and then I got to climb more Magna Beam to get to that ladder on the other end. So I need quite a bit. So I kind of wasted some. So I got to go back down here and get some energy refill. So luckily in the Nintendo version of this game, that ammo keeps on respawning, so you can go back up, get the ammo, and then, you know, go back down, rinse and repeat to get as much ammo as you can. Now, unfortunately, my least favorite boss in this entire game is the very first boss of Wily Fortress number 1. I'm going to save here, and I'll say it right now, I got this down on my first try, which is amazing. This never happens, and it might just be because the game is a little bit more optimized. But we're going to fight the Yellow Devil, and the Yellow Devil is kind of infamous in the Mega Man community because it's just the pattern and having a platform and jump around. And I feel like the first phase is the hardest because you don't see where the blocks are coming from, but right here you can see which blocks are going to move. So it's just a matter of, you know, keeping your eye on the Yellow Devil and not looking at anything else. And you can only get one hit in. Now, if you really wanted to cheese this fight, you could actually use the damage glitch in this port of the game. Basically, when you hit something, you can shoot like an Elect Beam or any other weapon. You can just keep repeatedly pausing it and pausing the game, and then you'll use up the invincibility frames of the boss, and he'll get damaged immediately right after you unpause it. So it might take a little bit of time to get the invincibility frames to wear off, but you can most definitely use it to cheese the Yellow Devil. But luckily, I didn't need to do that. I'm very proud of myself. I've only done this maybe twice in the dozen times or so I've played Mega Man 1. So I'm very happy to get this for my first attempt here on the Let's Play. So very proud. But yeah, he'll split himself up. He'll go to the other screen, and then he'll shoot a pellet at you, which normally will miss. And then most of the damage is going to come from him hitting with his little blocks that he molds from his body. So yeah, and it's the same pattern over and over and over again, I find. So the hardest thing is whenever he moves a block from the second row of his body, and then immediately a block from his third row. So you just gotta be a little bit careful with the timing of your jumps. And right there, if I wasn't very careful with that Elect Beam, I probably would have got knocked down and died from falling in the pit. So just take your time. I'm actually, like I said, this is like my third playthrough of this, so it's a little bit it's a little bit practice, but you just want to take your time there. And Cutman, we're gonna rematch with Cutman, and we don't have the blocks for Gutsman's super arm ability, so we have to rely on the Mega Buster, which you can see there. He goes down fairly easy too. He just jumps and throws the rolling cutter out. But since the whole level is an equal plane level, there's no elevation. I find it's really easy to take on Cutman. And then we're going to fight Electman here, which is the hardest Robot Master again. And if you jump over that little gap right there, you can get a little bit of ammo to refill your Elect Beam or Magna Beam. So again, Rolling Cutter is your best friend. And then of course, I'd rather get hit by Electman by touching him than getting hit by his Elect Beam, because it does a significant less amount of damage. Right here, I thought about using the Magna Beam, but I decided not to because I felt like it wasn't worth it. I'd rather save it for a later section, so that's what I do. So these little bombs, make sure that you take your time. They will reappear and they will knock you, and then if you're over a pit, you'll probably fall in the pit, so don't do that. And then what we're going to do here is that Magna Beam I decided to save. This is what I was saving it for. I want to get that extra life to just have some extra leeway in case I do die. And I do die quite a bit, but I do die and I reload, but that's for later sections. But we'll talk about that later. You'll see that quite a bit. But yeah, these blocks right here, I wanted to save my Elect Beam because of the boss. The boss doesn't necessarily... I don't think it necessarily has a weakness because, spoiler alert, it's a copy of Megaman. And then the robot will use whatever ability that you have. So if you have Ice Slasher, he's going to have Ice Slasher. If you have Elect Beam, he's going to have Elect Beam. And luckily the Elect Beam that he uses is not the same strength as Electman's Elect Beam. Otherwise we'd be in very big trouble. Because I use the Elect Beam to take out the copy Megaman robot. So I'm going to go ahead and take out these robots, and I'm going to save my game here, I believe. But luckily, I get it down in one try, so I don't have to come back. But I just barely survived, if I remember right. So he's going to copy you, and so when you come in this room with the Elect Beam, you're going to have the Elect Beam. He's going to have the Elect Beam. But if you switch the weapon in the middle of the fight, I think he switches it with you. But I like to try to keep the Elect Beam, because even though it is hard for you to dodge, it's very difficult for him to dodge. So, and I find that he wants to get really close and then shoot you up close. So if you get far away, you're going to get a few free hits in, because he wants to close the gap and then use it. So right here, ooh, am I going to make it? I think I do. I think. Oh yeah, I thought for a second there I was the one that blew up, not him. And Mega Man just stays in a perpetual state of damage. And it looks like he breaks through the screen in the background. But yeah, I barely survived that fight. I was very worried about that. That was my first attempt. I'm very proud of that. And we cleared that room. And I kind of cut right there the loading screen like I said I would. So we're going to go into what I call the sewer level of the Wily Fortress. So, oh yeah, no, I do remember. I did cut, but I also didn't like my first attempt at this, so this is actually take 2 of this level. A little bit of full disclosure there. So this level is actually pretty short, because all you can do is you're trying to get to the very bottom. There are no spikes, so you don't have to worry about that. You just gotta worry about taking damage. And so in a lot of these sections, you just want to avoid damage. Don't bother trying to take out the robots. You'll take more damage in the long run. And then when you get here, this water is pushing me. I'm not moving, and I'm just shooting my Mega Buster to take out the enemies that I know are going to come. You get little penguin bots will drop, you know, some bonus points, might drop some health, might drop some ammo for your other weapons. And I like to prioritize for here. I would highly prioritize your Gutsman ability, and then I would also highly prioritize your Magna Beam if at all possible, because your Elect Beam is going to be very useful in the next section. But I've used up so much of it, I'm not going to have very much. And Magna Beam is just useful in general, just to clear platforming sections with ease. But you want to save your super arm ability, because the boss, which is CWU01P, and there's several of them, so we're going to fight a lot of these enemies, bosses. You're going to fight 7 of them specifically, because when you destroy one, you take part of its health bar away. And I like to take out the first 3 with the Mega Buster, because they move progressively faster as you take them out. And so I like to eliminate them, the first 3 with the Mega Buster, and then the last 4 I'll save those rocks for the super arm, because its weakness is the super arm. And so they're moving really slow, and as you can tell, the second one that came out is moving progressively faster. And all they do is they go around the room and shoot little bubbles at you. A little bit hint of Bubble Man from Mega Man 2, I feel. I digress. But we're gonna go ahead and switch to the super arm, and we're gonna take out these robots, because you can see there, one block takes them out in one hit, and so it makes it very, very nice to take out the fast ones. All you gotta do is just aim very carefully, aim true, and chunk it, and then you will take it out, and then you do not have to worry about worrying too much about this boss. It's really easy if you prepare and you know that beforehand. Obviously, when I first played this when I was a little kid, I didn't know that, so I had a very hard time with that boss. And I think right here, we're going to get into a section where it's just vertical. It reminds me very much of Electroman. Those green robots do drop from the ceiling. So again, use your Mega Buster to take them out, and then you don't have to worry about them. Use your Gutsman ability, and then you need to clear that wall. Or you can use the Magnum Beam if you want, but I don't think Magnum Beam is going to give me enough height to get that. So I'm just going to avoid it. And if you get all the blocks right there, that energy recharge does not fall down. And as you can see there, Wily has a very particular fascination with Gutsman. I can't blame him, because he's just a funny character in the television show, and I'm pretty sure this game did not come out before. The television show did not come out before the game, but it's still a hallmark of cartoons. I highly suggest someone go watch it if you haven't. Do yourself a favor and watch it. Some of the humor there is golden. It's very 80s cartoon humorous, and then I went ahead and left all my deaths in this cut, so you can see all my failure. Full disclosure. So right here, I'm gonna die because I didn't right. And then here as well, I'm gonna die as well. Again, right here, and then one more time for good measure. So yeah, as you can see, this part's very tricky for me. And then I finally get it down on the 4th try. It wasn't the 3rd time the charm, it's the 4th time that is actually the charm. And I just decided, you know, why not use the Magnum Beam? I'm about to get this, I'm trying to remember what it's called. Let me look at my notes, my notes. It's called the Yasichi. I probably butchered that. I'm not Japanese. I'm pretty sure that word's Japanese. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But this is where we get our second half of the boss rush. So you're going to fight in order: Bomb Man, Fireman, Iceman, and then finally Doctor Wily's favorite robot master, Gutsman, because you know he had these golden statues of him placed all around. And I am going to die to this boss rush. Full disclosure. I took way too much damage there on Bombman, because Fireman's the one that's going to do the next most damage, and it's really hard to avoid Gutsman damaging you here. And Fireman, like I say, he just chunks all of his Firestorm ability. So took way too much damage. I'm not very confident I'm going to survive this, but I know Iceman is a very easy robot master. His weapon does hurt, but he just shoots in a very easy pattern to avoid. And three elect beams is going to be what we need to use to take him out. And Gutsman's laughing because he knows he's going to take me out here. Boop. Yeah. So I reloaded right here, and I just went ahead and left that boss rush in, and then we're gonna get another extra life, and then there Yasiichi, just to refill all my ammo. And that Yasiichi, it'll give you some points, it'll refill your health all the way, and then it will refill all your ammo for all your weapons. I didn't mention that before, so it's kind of hard to I believe it respawns you right before the boss rush, right there. So I didn't really need to save right there. I think it automatically spawns you right before the boss rush. But there, got through Bomb Man really easy. Didn't take no damage, so I'm feeling very good. And then Fireman's the one I'm really worried about, because Fireman's the one, other than Gutsman, that I feel is going to do the most damage. And I'm very correct in that. So he did about a third. And I know Iceman is going to be really, really, really easy, so not worried about that. It's Fireman and Gutsman that are going to determine whether you survive this boss rush. So 3 shots. He's a 3-shot pump. 3 pump chump. Sorry. What can I say? My dyslexia and ADD are getting the better of me. But yeah, Guts Man. So we're gonna have this little rematch. He's gonna hit me, and I'm gonna avoid his second block. And luckily, I don't think Guts Man really corners you into that teleporter, so you don't have to worry about that. But he only got 2 blocks on me. Correction, he got 3 blocks on me. 2 of them hit me, so I'm a little bit happy because once we get to Doctor Wily right here, we get a checkpoint. So I'm no longer really worried about, you know, getting the game over or anything like, because I got plenty of lives. You get a little bit of an energy recharge. I like to go with the Firestorm because it can hit twice. If you're really close to the gun that shoots at you, Firestorm puts a shield around Mega Man, that counts as a hit, and then the Firestorm that shoots out of Mega Man's arm counts as another hit. So you get quite a bit of damage in if you get really close. But it's up to you. It's a risk versus reward system because that shot is very close to the gun. So again, I'm not too worried about it. I got enough lives. I'm very confident I can take him out. I just didn't have enough life to survive 2 phases. And Dr. Wily is kind of infamous in having multiple phases in his boss fights, which he is the final boss fight in all of his games, all of Mega Man Classic games. So again, I'm going to get the energy capsule with the Firestorm Billy because I want to make sure I have enough ammo, but I know I'm going to have enough ammo because he goes down relatively easy to the Firestorm Billy, his first form anyways. And to the life of me, I still don't know what that thing is that he's in. But they go by the name Wily Machine number 1 in this case, and in part 2, it's Wily Machine number 2. I digress. So let's talk about the fight. So the second phase, he shoots an orb that you really can't see very well in the fight because of the way, I guess, the rendering is again. But Electric Beam is your best weapon, dude, because it hits twice, and it does a fair amount of damage for the ammo that you have. But he's not very hard. You just keep shooting him with the Electric Beam and he'll go down really, really easy, provided you didn't take a lot of damage in the first phase. So that's the end of the evil Dr. Wily's machinations, I hope, because he's bowing and saying, "Please forgive me, Mega Man." And Mega Man's like, "Yeah, sure, bro. I believe you. I'm sure you won't try this at least 10 more times." I say at least 10 times because there's Mega Man 11. But Mega Man has ended the evil domination of Doctor Wily and restored peace to the world. Restored the world to peace, I should say. However, the never-ending battle continues until all destructive forces are defeated. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that in this series. But fight Mega Man for everlasting peace, and that's the end of Mega Man 1. So we get a little bit of a closing sequence, and then, I mean, the fight for everlasting peace. I mean, there's 11 classic Mega Man games. There's at least 8, 9 if you count Mega Man X Command Mission, Mega Man X games, 4 Mega Man Zero games, and there's 2 Mega Man ZX games. I think I've never played that series, but I really want to get back. I want to play that, but yeah, we get Mega Man running here, and I really like this. I really like this sequence a lot because it shows Mega Man in his normal form when he's not the super fighting robot Mega Man. So I really like it. I really like the sunset there, and it's very simple. And these credits are going to go really quickly because it's a Nintendo game. So he's going to cross over some docks, get into the city, and he's going to get his way home, and he's going to jump into maybe the loving arms of his father and sister, Dr. Light and Roll. And we don't see Rush yet because Rush hasn't been invented yet. But presented by Capcom USA. And thank you so much, Capcom, for making this game continue this series for at least another 10 games. Classic Mega Man. It's one of my favorite game series of all time. That's including all Mega Man games. Even the ones I haven't played, I probably will enjoy the ones I haven't played yet. But thank you for spending all this time with me, folks. Means a lot to me. If you like these videos, like it, share it, spread the word around. I want to keep on doing these. And of course, I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye.